Yo, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video of Fazos Thoughts. Now, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see what's before you. You see what's in front of you right now. We got the Bloodline Rules match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. For those who have been, potentially living under a rock, this is the match that we're going to get on the Raw premiere of Netflix. And for those also who might not have been, you know what I'm saying, might have been under a rock, this is going to be the main event of the show. So we don't know if the show is going to go a flat 2 hours. I highly doubt it, considering that you got three big matches, right? You got this, which is going to be the main event. You got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, which is probably going to open the show. In the middle of the show, another big match you got is Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. So, you know what I mean? We got a few big matches coming up here on this Monday Night Raw episode in January 6th that they keep drilling in our heads, man. It's like I feel like every time I say Monday Night Raw, I got to say January 6th. It's weird, which is obviously phenomenal marketing for them. I mean, it's not like I wasn't going to watch it. But anyways, guys, I want to talk about how sometimes match placement will really let you know what is going on during the show. So, in the previous video, I had talked about how I thought CM Punk versus Seth Rollins was going to be the main event of this show, especially, a few weeks prior. We did not know that Roman Reigns was going to have a match on this show. If anything, it was just he was going to make an appearance, maybe an impromptu match with someone, considering the fact that the last time Roman Reigns actually had a match on Raw, I was at the event. It was a July Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden. I remember it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. That was the first show that Triple H actually had hands on when it came to being in creative with WWE. So, definitely a day that stapled in my mind as well. So, with the match placement of this, right, this being the main event, which is very interesting to me, like I said today and in the previous video, I think we all know what's going to happen at the end of this match. Now, there's also been reports going out that they might have a bloodline. I don't know if it was like a head of the table title involved. I'm not really too sure what that's going to be consisted of. Like, does that mean whoever's the head of the table is always going to have a belt? So, like, say Roman's not the WWE champion, but he's the bloodline champ. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that means they're always going to have someone in the bloodline is always going to have some sort of gold, even if they're not, the main champion on the roster. And also, what that tells me is if you're the head of the table, I feel like, and if you have a bloodline championship, then that tells me that you can only defend that within the bloodline. And not that there's not enough bloodline members, but I mean, we've seen almost just about every which way that the bloodline can be, broken up and things of that nature. So I don't really know if they want to do that for redundancy. But since this match is taking place in a main event, I'm going to assume that Solo Sikoa is going to lose, right? Now, on top of that, even if Solo doesn't lose, the only way that Solo wouldn't lose to me is if you have interference and it kind of ends up being a WrestleMania 31 situation where you had, remember when Rollins came out towards the end of the match and turned it into a triple threat. This way I can see, maybe Rock comes out while all the other bloodline members and everybody else is coming out in the match. Because I don't see any main roster guys coming out for this match. There's no relation with anyone else. The only other guy would have been Bronson Reed. And I mean, that just doesn't make sense for you to have anyone else join. CM Punk is not going to get into this because he's going to have his match with Seth Rollins. So, the only thing I can think of is like maybe The Rock comes out while everyone else is coming out towards the end, and maybe he's walking ringside. Maybe he has the Ulafala in his hand. Maybe he's going to be the one to give whoever wins the Ulafala. Like, say Solo Sikoa wins, he puts the Ulafala on his shoulders, as a lot of people feel like The Rock is the main, the actual final boss in terms of telling whoever what to do in Bloodline 2.0. Whereas maybe if Roman wins, maybe he puts the Ulafala on Roman's shoulders and gives him a rock bottom anyway. So, I don't think that the winner of this match determines what The Rock does in terms of coming out or not, but there's no way that this match ends and Rock doesn't come out and it's the main event. There's no other reason. And it's actually really funny because the last time this happened was that Bad Blood, where Rock came out at the end of the show and, he did the 1, 2, 3, and then his song came on when he was looking at Cody Rhodes and Roman in the ring. Now, if this happens, right, this is my question. This is what I want to know. Rock comes back. Do they give him a microphone? Now, obviously, since they're going to be on Netflix, they don't have a hard time that they need to cut off. Maybe they give them like, all right, you guys have up to 4 hours, every Monday, right? Or up to 3.5 hours every Monday. Well, I don't know how the commercialing is going to go on this show. They might be able to crank this out in 2.5 hours because they might not have to do, however long the commercial breaks are on USA. So there definitely is a chance that that might not be a hindrance on them when it comes to what they want to do in terms of scheduling and match placement here. But, Rock coming out again, to just not have anything to say is just, it's not that it won't create a pop. It's not that people are going to get mad. It's because, I mean, if Rock is looking at Roman in the middle of the ring, we already know where we're going. However, the last time Rock did that, it was Cody and Roman in the ring. So, it was a great opportunity to be like, okay, we don't really know who Rock is looking at. When he walked backstage and had his segment on Instagram, on his, when he went on Instagram Live, he was saying how, he didn't like what The Rock didn't like what he's seen, and there's been a lot of things that he hasn't been approving of over the last few months while he's gone. It's like, okay, maybe he doesn't like Cody Rhodes still, like, is he really looking at Roman? Is he upset with Roman? Like, what's going on? In which I felt like made 100%. 1,000%. It made no sense that Roman had tagged with Cody Rhodes last or 2 months ago. I did not think that made any sense whatsoever, and I feel like anyone, being upset about that is in the right. I wouldn't blame a damn person. I wouldn't blame a damn fool. Nobody would be upset for you being upset if you help someone try to do what they can in terms of winning the match, retaining the WWE Championship, bringing it back to the Bloodline, and you lose and you tag with them. You must be crazy, right? So, yeah, guys, that's what I think is going to happen. The only question that I'll walk away from this match is, does The Rock talk to Roman? Does he rock bottom Roman? Like, is there any physical, altercation between the both of them? Because I would assume the Ulafala is going to be handed to someone and it's going to get placed on the shoulders. Now, I don't know if Paul Heyman, gives it to Roman like he usually does, or, I think Roman said something about having the elders at the match. So, you know what I'm saying, guys? We'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. I cannot wait for this Monday Night Raw to happen and culminate, and we see what goes on. It's your boy Fazos, the Great One. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out, bruh.